corruption, including taking cash, the jobs and money laundering. So this is the particular input that we have from the story in the South. And we have CNN News 18's Arunima joining us in the broadcast to give us more details on this. Arunima, a very good morning to you. Well, quite a lot of debate has gone around the dismissal of Senthil Balaji and, well, now legal advice is being sought. How are we looking at these developments in Tamil Nadu?
Dismissal, which was eventually withdrawn, is the status at this moment. Last night, close to midnight, central government stepped in because there was a lot of criticism whether constitutionally the governor has the power to unilaterally dismiss a minister without consulting the chief minister, without consulting the council. The governor.
Namaste, Jai Hind and welcome to this edition of The Right Stand. I'm Anand Narsimhan. We start with an update coming in on a conversation between Prime Minister Narendra Modi and the Russian President Vladimir Putin. PM Narendra Modi had a telephone conversation with the President of the Russian Federation. They reviewed the progress in bilateral cooperation and exchanged views on regional and global issues of mutual interest. President Putin informed the Prime Minister about the recent developments in Russia. While discussing the situation in Ukraine, PM reiterated his call for dialogue and diplomacy. We try and go across to Abhishek for more details on this. Abhishek, Russia has also confirmed this conversation. Do we know how long did this call last and what are the aspects that were covered?
So this was a pretty comprehensive call where both the leaders discussed about all the issues of regional and global importance. India also happens to be the chair of SCO and G20 at the same time. We know next week SCO summit level talks are going to happen virtually. So the discussions were around that also, what should all be the areas that the leaders need to focus. G20 is in the month of September, where Russia has time and again expressed their solidarity and support for India's presidency. The issues were discussed around Ukraine conflict also and how it has been impacting the world. Russian president expressed that despite their willingness, Ukrainians are not interested in having a diplomatic or political solution of the conflict. The issue regarding the recent armed rebellion under the leadership of Resign was also discussed. This is what the Russian side has said. Prime Minister, Russian release from the President House of Kremlin also says that Prime Minister discussed with his Russian counterpart about his recent visit to USA, and the discussions took place on the issues that how the bilateral relationship should go further from here.
Do we know how long did this call last?
Not really. I mean, this detail has not been shared with us, but we know that the two leaders had a discussion encompassing all areas of concern. So it must have been a pretty long conversation between the two sides.
Anything specific from the Russian part? You're saying that the recent attempt and this entire thing with the Wagner Group was also discussed?
So, I mean, to say at least, we have seen recently Russian president engaging with his counterparts across the region. We have seen him having a conversation with Iranian President Raisi, then UAE Prime Minister. He's also talked with. Now he's talking with Prime Minister Modi. Yesterday only, we had this news that NSA Doval had a conversation with his Russian counterpart, Patrushev. So clearly that thing unfolded in Russia on 24th of June has rattled the Russian administration and the state pretty much. And the security concerns by the peer nations or the friendly nations of Russia has been expressed, while every nation has expressed their solidarity for a peaceful resolution of all the conflict and differences between the armed forces. There has been an outreach attended by Russians, that is not ordinary, that is extraordinary, that they are trying to reach out to every friendly nations who have supported Russian president and who have a very good deep strategic and political linkages with Russia.
Well, the first paragraph itself says, in connection from the Russian side, from Kremlin, the statement issued by Kremlin itself says, in connection with the events of June 24, Narendra Modi expressed understanding and support for the decisive actions of the Russian leadership to protect law and order, ensure stability in the country and the security of its citizens. So clearly the issue with the Wagner Group was discussed at length. The situation around Ukraine was touched upon. The president of Russia assessed the current state of affairs in the special military operation zone, emphasizing Kyiv's categorical refusal to take political and diplomatic steps to resolve the conflict. As Abhishek said, so clearly Russia is saying we are ready to talk. It's the Ukrainians who are not wanting to speak, and they are the ones who are not wanting to indulge or reiterate or get involved with dialogue and diplomacy, as has been pitched by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Thank you for that update, Abhishek. Quickly getting a move on, ladies and gentlemen, to a big exclusive news break where there is a massive protest by the Baloch at the UNGA. At the UNHCR, beg your pardon, atrocities against the Baloch people have been highlighted at the UNHCR. Top Baloch politicians and activists have once again highlighted the atrocities meted out to them by Pakistan. The activists claiming that Baloch have been subjected to a range of abuses, including kidnapping, extradition, killings, torture and forced displacements. Their struggle for justice continues as they once again knock at the UN's door. So they are currently in Geneva. I'm hoping that we have with us Professor Naila Qadri, the Baloch Prime Minister in exile of the government of Balochistan, Professor Siddiq Asad Baloch, the Secretary General Baloch People's Congress, and Munir Mengal, President of the Baloch Voice Association, which is an NGO that has been highlighting, we must tell you, ladies and gentlemen, for more than 5,000 odd days, now there have been continuous protests by the Baloch people over in Pakistan too. They have been protesting outside the Pak consulate and the Pak government offices, continuously raising the voice of the missing Baloch. This is something that they have time and again wanted the UNHCR to take cognizance of, the brazen violation of human rights in Balochistan. Balochistan had its independence just around the time of partition, but then immediately soon after, August of 1947, in October 47, and then thereafter in 48, it was attacked and annexed by the Pakistan army, and the Baloch since then have been time and again reiterating that they deserve to be an independent nation. The Baloch Liberation Army has been active. They have also resorted to what the Pakistani authorities term brazen acts of terrorism on Pakistani soil. They also claimed responsibility for a Fidaiin attack against the Chinese in Karachi. But for the Baloch, it's their children, their loved ones who have been picked up and they are missing. They have also claimed the existence of mass graves and mass killings, quite literally a genocide of the Baloch that is being perpetrated by the Pak army. Professor Naila Qadri, Professor Siddiq Asad Baloch and Munir Mengal ji are with us. Namaste, thank you very much. Naila ji, Siddiq Saab and Munir ji, can you hear me? My name is Anand. Can you hear me? Namaste, this is Anand here. Naila ji, can you hear me? I'm going to attempt once again. Naila ji, Munir ji, can you hear me? Siddiq Saab, can you hear me? We're going to try and check if they can hear us clearly and sort out the audio. Naila Qadri is the Baloch Prime Minister in exile of the government of Balochistan, and she has been time and again fighting. Her near and dear ones have also faced trouble closer home, back home in Balochistan. The atrocities against the Baloch people, more than 7,000 people missing. There are names, lists, people who lived and their identities, and they have all gone missing, and time and again the Baloch people have raised these issues. Professor Naila Qadri, Professor Siddiq Asad and Munir Mengal ji, namaste, can you hear me? My name is Anand. I hope I am audible to you.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you. Naila ji, can you tell us what is the story you want to take to the UNHCR about the Baloch people? You are the Prime Minister in exile of the government of Balochistan.
Actually, we are here to share our pains here, the agony the Baloch people are facing. 55,000 plus Balochs enforced period, and there are women, children, and youngest is 7 days baby girl, 7 days old, and baby girl is one of the enforced disappeared balloons. The situation is genocide by all the definitions, all the indicators given in the definition of genocide and the Convention against Genocide, UN Convention against Genocide, gives all those indicators you can find in Balochistan by the army of Pakistan. Balochistan is given in the hands of Pakistan's army for 7 decades, and we are living in a concentration camp. Balochistan is transformed into hell. You can't imagine how a person can breathe there. Our girls, our young girls, our young teachers are suiciding just to protect their honor from the Pakistan Army's raid camp. Our young girls, they don't see any hope for life, and now they have decided to become self-sacrifice. They are blasting themselves for targets. Life is not an option for us. Now we are choosing how to die. Is this a world that United Nations want to see? Is this a world that a nation of 60 million can live without a country? The Baloch people are living without a country, one of the biggest nations, Baloch and Kurds living without a country. It's a challenge for United Nations mandate, and we have appealed here that there should be a special rapporteur for Balochistan, and there should be fact-finding mission for Balochistan, and there should be monitoring mission. They should sit in Balochistan, and they should see where the mass graves are, where the rape cells are, where the torture cells are, how after each 5 to 10 kilometers, our army is standing and killing people. This is the way Baloch people are going through. We are not living in a free country. We are living in a concentration camp. It's duty of United Nations to listen to us. And sometimes they say that, it's too late. What happened in Rwanda genocide? It was too late. Balochs are coming to the United Nations every year 3 times and registering all the cases, what's going on in Balochistan. Every day they are taking our sons and our daughters, young students and young girls, and it is all reported here. So at least they can say that we didn't know what was happening under the thick wall of media blackout in Pakistan.
But Nailaji, if I may ask you respectfully, why is it that the issue of the Baloch, and if the story is so compelling and if the facts are true, why has the UNHCR not taken cognizance? The charge is that the Baloch people are also attacking Chinese citizens. The Baloch are resorting to terrorism. Some outfits and some Baloch groups have been deemed terrorists by the Pakistan state. How would you want to respond to that, Nailaji?
Balochs are not terrorists at all. Balochs have not hided Osama bin Laden in their military camps. Balochs are not involved in any kind of creating terror outfits like Lashkar-e-Taiba and Jambi and those outfits. They are working. They are attacking. Balochs are not responsible for 9/11. So how Balochs can be terrorists? Balochs are defending their own country. Baloch freedom fighters. Is there any way left for Baloch? Is there right to assembly? Is there right to protest? Is there right to speak? So when all the civil and political doors have been closed on Baloch, what is left for Baloch to do? Baluchs are not terrorists. We strictly stand on that. Baluchs are not terrorists. Baluchs are defending their own nation, and China is not welcome in Pakistan. China is not welcome from Uyghurs from the East Turkestan. China is not welcome in Gilgit-Baltistan and Kashmir. China is not welcome in Sindhu Desh. China is not welcome in Balochistan. Who brought them? Who has the authority? Balochistan is a controversial conflict area. Balochistan is occupied. We are standing for our liberation. So Pakistan has no right to sell our ports and our gold mines to China. China should understand that instead of shaking hands with the occupiers, they should respect the opinion of Baloch people, what Baloch people want. We don't like that somebody comes, occupies, and then try to change the demography of Balochistan, try to settle their people in Balochistan, try to take over our ports and our lands without our consensus. We don't like that. So China should respect Baloch people's opinion.
Professor Siddiq Azad Baloch, a quick one question. What are you hopeful of this time? What would you like the UNHCR to do?
We have requested here, formally we have requested that the United Nations, UNHCR, UNHRC should send a fact-finding mission to Balochistan. There should be intervention, UN intervention. We are appealing. We have formally submitted appeals to send fact-finding mission, monitoring mission, and a special rapporteur for Balochistan, and the culprits of these atrocity crimes against Baloch people. They should be tried in international court of justice, and the culture of impunity should not go on, as this is the same army responsible for genocide of Bangladeshi people. So this genocidal army, this rapist army, it's unleashed on Baloch people. They should be stopped and they should be tried for what they are doing in Balochistan and what they have done in Bangladesh before that.
Naila Qadri ji, Professor Siddiq Azad, and Munir Bengal ji. Thank you so much and for making the time and speaking with us, and we hope that your voice is heard, not just at the UNHCR but across the globe, and nations wake up to what's being done with the people of Balochistan. Thank you so much for your time and thank you for speaking with us. Namaste. Quickly moving and shifting the spotlight closer home, ladies and gentlemen, ever since Prime Minister Narendra Modi pushed for uniformity, a massive debate has erupted across the country over the Uniform Civil Code. Now, while the Law Commission is going full throttle, speaking to all stakeholders, earlier in the day, the Parliament panel has summoned the Law Commission chief on the 3rd of July. Now, besides the Law Commission, the panel headed by BJP Rajya Sabha MP Sushil Modi will also hear the views of the Department of Legal Affairs and the Legislative Department. And amidst all this, Uttarakhand is preparing its own Uniform Civil Code draft. Now, according to the Uttarakhand government source, the draft is proposed for the proposed UCC in the state has provisions for the age of girls for marriage and conditions for live-in relationship, among others. There is also very clearly equal rights for every individual to be able to adopt, and equal rights in inheritance for male or female member of the family. And in the case of a dispute or in the case of a child being orphaned, the rights would go to the grandparents. There are many other clauses, about 15 odd clauses that we've accessed here at CNN News 18. Let's try and understand and put it down for you. These are some of the recommendations, the 15 recommendations that could be part of the draft that is going to be submitted to the Uttarakhand government by the panel that was set up by the government in the first place, led by Justice Ranjana Desai. Age for marriage, the age of girls for marriage will be increased to 21 years from the present 18 years. And the thought process behind this is that women or girls should be able to graduate, complete their education before marriage. Marriage registration, the draft has suggested making registration of marriages mandatory. Without registration, they cannot avail the benefits of any government scheme that accrues to the the married. Village level marriage registration facility should be set up so that registration is made simpler, easier and very close to where the marriage is conducted. Divorce rights. The draft gives equal grounds and rights to both husband and wife irrespective of the faith to seek divorce. Basis of divorce will be applicable to both the husband and the wife. Polygamy. The UCC draft bans the practice of polygamy, the custom of having more than one wife, which is a feature among Muslim personal law, which is allowed within Muslim personal law. Recommendation 9 is halala and iddat. The proposed UCC draft mentions discontinuing the practice of halala and iddat, terms commonly used while settling marriage disputes among Muslims, and also certain parts which are brazenly violating the rights of women, some of these practices. Girls will get equal share in inheritance as boys. That's another recommendation. The next recommendation for live-in couples, it will be mandatory for live-in couples to inform their parents and also to register. They will have to not just inform their parents, they will have to announce or register the fact that they are a live-in couple or a pair. Simplified adoption process if the child is an orphan. Child's custody with grandparents in case of a feud. Population control. The draft has reportedly recommended fixing the number of children, and everyone will have the right to adopt. So these are some of the standard measures or perhaps path-breaking measures that have been suggested in the UCC draft by this 4-member panel, and we've accessed some of them. Now, it is not only in Uttarakhand. Several other states are mulling implementation of the UCC. As the Uttarakhand panel submits a draft to the Dhami government, 4-member expert committee will examine the legislative competence of the state legislature to enact a law to end polygamy. In Haryana, Uniform Civil Code is being studied for implementation. In Madhya Pradesh, state government to form a panel to study the law. In Uttar Pradesh, decision on Uniform Civil Code only after a consensus is made. Gujarat, the state to form panel to assess aspects of the UCC. Goa, the only state to implement the Uniform Code because it has got it in legacy from the time when it was under the Portuguese, and they've carried on that aspect. Joining us now is the former Chief Minister of Uttarakhand, Harish Rawat ji. Harish Rawat ji, namaste, Jai Hind. Thank you very, very much for your time. My first question is, Uttarakhand ready for UCC?
यदि ये यूनिफॉर्म सिविल कोड है तो फिर हर राज्य का कैसा अलग अलग यूनिफॉर्म सिविल कोड होगा? उत्तराखंड का अलग होगा, गुजरात का अलग होगा, बंगाल का अलग होगा, मिजोरम का अलग होगा। तो यूनिफॉर्म, यदि देश का एक कानून, जैसा प्रधानमंत्री कह रहे हैं, उत्तराखंड का ये ड्राफ्ट उसके अनुरूप है, तो फिर ये तो सेंट्रल लेजिस्लेशन होना चाहिए। और सेंट्रल लेजिस्लेशन के लिए यदि आप संविधान से प्रेरणा लेकर के कर रहे हैं, जैसे आर्टिकल 44 का ये रेफरेंस दे रहे हैं, तो उसमें नेहरू जी की प्रेरणा से उस समय कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंट असेंबली ने उसको सम्मिलित किया था। तो उसमें उन्होंने कहा था कि एक आम राय बनाई जाएगी, जब राज्य हमेशा कोशिश करता रहेगा। आप आम राय बनाने की कोशिश करिए, संविधान से शक्ति लीजिए, प्रेरणा लीजिए। तो वो काम तो अभी हुआ नहीं है। नॉर्थ ईस्ट के अंदर डिफरेंट तरीके का कल्चर है, और आदिवासियों में, जनजातियों में प्रॉपर्टी के, इनहेरिटेंस के, गोद लेने के अलग अलग कानून हैं। कई महिला प्रधान समाज है, जैसे मेघालय में आदि में जो है। फिर उसके अलावा हमारे यहाँ भी शादी ब्याह के कानून है, उनमें बहुत सारा अंतर है। इधर आपने देखा होगा कि शिरोमणि अकाली दल ने भी उन्होंने भी सवाल उठाया है कि भाई सब धर्मों के लोगों से बातचीत करिए, जो और सब धर्म हैं। आप केवल यदि मुसलमानों की बात लेकर के कुछ रिएक्शन में कानून बनाएंगे तो कानून देश का कानून नहीं हो सकता। देश कभी रिएक्शन में कोई कानून लेजिस्लेट नहीं करता है। आप आवश्यकता महसूस करते हैं तो उसके लिए एक आम राय सबसे परामर्श करिए, बनाइए। और हमारे देश में संविधान बनाने के बाद हमने बहुत सारे प्रिविलेजेस, बहुत सारे अधिकार अलग अलग सामाजिक ग्रुपों को दिए हैं। जैसे आरक्षण का है, दूसरे अधिकार है, उन पर ये देश का सारे देश के एक कानून का कोई असर उन पर तो नहीं पड़ेगा। उसको वे करना, उसको तौलना बहुत आवश्यक है, उसकी मीमांसा करना आवश्यक है। कल आपने बना दिया, पता चला लिटिगेशन का और दरवाजा खुल गया। पहले से ही आरक्षण पर कई तरीके के भाजपा के समय में आरक्षण आदि कई सवाल उठाते थे, तो हमको डर है कहीं ये देश ने जिनको सर्वसम्मति से जिन कानूनों को बनाया है, जिन चीजों को आगे बढ़ाया है, उन पर कोई असर न पड़े। तो ये सारी बातें जिन पर विचार किया जाना आवश्यक है। तो जिंदगी में और भी बहुत सारे गम हैं हिंदू मुसलमान के अलावा। इस देश के अंदर महंगाई, बेरोजगारी, दूसरे कई कुपोषण आदि सवाल है, महिलाओं पर अत्याचार का सवाल है। उधर सीमा के अंदर चीन बैठा हुआ है, गांव बना रहा है हमारी सीमा के अंदर, देखे तो पुल पुलिया बना रहा है, इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर खड़ा कर रहा है। मणिपुर में इधर को लगी हुई है, आतंकवाद अभी भी नहीं रुका है कश्मीर में सारे दावों के बावजूद जो है। तो ये सब चीजें हैं। तो ऐसे में एक सुविचारित तरीके से जो होना चाहिए केंद्रीय होना चाहिए। रहा सवाल उत्तराखंड में, तो ये तय करना है कि देश का एक कानून बनना है या उत्तराखंड अलग अलग है। यदि एक खंड खंड कानून है तो उत्तराखंड बनाए।
पर कॉमन सिविल कोड की बात अगर करें हरीश जी, तो फिर इसमें गोवा में तो वो कानून पुर्तगाली टाइम से चला आ रहा है, तो गोवा में तो यूसीसी लागू है और लॉ एंड ऑर्डर स्टेट सब्जेक्ट है। तो जब तक सेंट्रली कानून नहीं बनता, स्टेट्स को तो आज़ादी है कि वो इस पर विचार करें और खुद कानून बनाएं।
देखिए, गोवा में जो है एक वो थी, पुर्तगीज के समय से था। कुछ लोगों ने किसी चीज से कर लिया, लेकिन उसके बाद राज्यों ने, राज्य तो अस्तित्व में है ना, किसी राज्य ने नहीं बनाया। ये उत्तराखंड में चुनाव आया तो आपने यूनिफॉर्म सिविल कोड की बात कर दी, और गुजरात में आया तो आपने गुजरात में करना शुरू कर दिया, कर्नाटक में आया तो आपने कर्नाटक में कहना शुरू कर दिया। तो ये चुनाव ओरिएंटेड यूनिफॉर्म सिविल कोड कैसे कोड है? मैं ये नहीं समझ पा रहा हूँ। इनका चुनाव से क्या मतलब है? क्या चुनाव में शादी ब्याह के आदि के पर्सनल लॉज आदि ये सब कानून उसमें बनेंगे? अब मंदिरों में प्रवेश में महिलाओं वर्जित है कई जगहों, और परंपराएं बनी हुई हैं, उनको कानून जैसी सैंक्शन प्राप्त है। कई मंदिरों के अंदर पूरी आदि में जो है दलितों का प्रवेश, दूसरे धर्म के लोगों का प्रवेश, यहाँ आदिवासियों का प्रवेश, हमारे महामहिम राष्ट्रपति को उन्होंने प्रवेश नहीं दिया। तो ये इस तरीके की परंपराएं हैं, उनको आप कैसे गवर्न करेंगे? और इसका पहले से दायरे में नहीं आते पर असर नहीं पड़ेगा। जैसे आरक्षण, दूसरी तीसरी चीजों पर इसको सुनिश्चित करना पड़ेगा। पहले से जो पारित कानून है जिसमें कई सामाजिक समूह को हमने कई तरीके के प्रोटेक्शन दिए हैं देश के संविधान ने, उन पर असर नहीं पड़ेगा। इस काम को क्या पुष्कर सिंह धामी जी या उत्तराखंड तय कर सकते हैं? इन बातों
पर ये सारी
बातें इश्यूज है, तो लार्जर नेशनल इश्यूज में देहरादून से बाहर निकल करके काम करना पड़ेगा। देहरादून में तुमने अपना उस समय सिक्का चलाना था, खोटा सिक्का, तो आपने यूनिफॉर्म सिविल कोड कह दिया।
नहीं, पर हरीश जी, ये तो लेकिन विपक्ष के पास ये हमेशा दो धारी तलवार है, करो तो भी फंसो, ना करो तो भी आप सवाल पूछेंगे।
नहीं, विपक्ष है, हमको सवाल उठाने का अधिकार है
जी, बिल्कुल।
लेकिन आप ये तो जो सत्ता में लोग हैं उनको सारे विचार करने पड़ेंगे कि इसके क्या असर पड़ेंगे। कल मान लिया सेंटर ने लेजिस्लेशन बना दिया तो ये उत्तराखंड की सारी एक्सरसाइज बेकार हो जाएगी। तो इसको कौन इंश्योर करेगा कि आपने उत्तराखंड के लेजिस्लेचर का इतना समय क्यों बर्बाद किया, हमारा इतना धन क्यों बर्बाद किया? इसका कौन जवाब देगा? या तो ये हो कि ये उत्तराखंड के कानून को एज इट इज सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट अडॉप्ट कर रही है, तो हम कहेंगे बका धामी, आपने एक माइलस्टोन गाड़ दिया। और जब ये नहीं होना है तो ये सब इट इज एक्सरसाइज इन फ्यूटाइल, नथिंग। उत्तराखंड इज गोइंग टू गेन नथिंग आउट ऑफ इट, और न नेशन को इससे कोई फायदा होने जा रहा है। ये तो ऐसा है, कुछ ज्वलंत सवाल है जो है महंगाई का है,
पर वो विषय तो है,
बेरोजगारी
लेकिन
का है, देश की सीमाओं में चीन तो वो है,
ये विषय, ये जस्ट बिकॉज देयर आर अदर इश्यूज,
कुछ लोग मालदार होते जा रहे हैं,
हरीश जी, but just because there are other issues, that doesn't mean that you will not address some of the core issues which are enshrined even in our constitution. Directive principles of state policy में article 44 में ये लिखा है कि state must secure a uniform civil code for its citizens. और मैं मानता हूं कि कांग्रेस पार्टी has not taken a position on it yet. बट आपको क्या लगता है, देश में कॉमन सिविल कोड होना चाहिए कि नहीं? आपका निजी ओपिनियन, व्हाट्स योर पर्सनल ओपिनियन सर?
जी, इस पर आप कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंट असेंबली की डिबेट देखिए, बड़े डिटेल में बातचीत हुई है। और अनुत्तगत्वा जो है, जब ये हुआ नहीं, ऐसा संभव नहीं है अभी, क्योंकि देश के सामने और बहुत सारे हालात हैं। जब सुटेबल समय आएगा तो नेहरू जी ने आयरिश कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन का हवाला दे करके कहा आयरलैंड के कि नहीं, जो है हम अपने वहाँ एक गाइडिंग प्रिंसिपल ऑफ स्टेट पॉलिसी बनाते हैं और उसके तहत जो है इनको सम्मिलित करवाते हैं। तब आर्टिकल 44 का समावेश करवाया गया, उसमें प्रोविजन किया गया। तो ये नेहरू जी के और अम्बेडकर जी की सादी बुद्धिमत्ता का परिणाम था। तो इसका अर्थ है, हमारे संविधान निर्माता जो फ्रीडम फाइटर वो थे, उस समय के लोग थे, वो भी इसकी आवश्यकता को महसूस करते थे और हमने कभी इसकी आवश्यकता को वो नहीं किया। मगर उसके लिए एक प्रॉपर टाइम होता है, समय होता है, सहमतियां होती हैं। आप इस देश को लोकतंत्र है क्या? मैं कह रहा हूँ असहमति भी है, तब तो मिनिमम सहमति किस बात में हो सकती है, उससे लेजिस्लेशन बनाए जाते हैं। तो ये तो ऐसा हो रहा है, तू या तो मेरी बात मान, नहीं तो मैं तेरी नाक काट देता हूँ।
नहीं, पर ऐसा भी तो नहीं। पर आपको लगता है कि 70 साल बाद भी माहौल नहीं बना है? 70 साल बाद भी भारत इसके लिए तैयार नहीं है, यूसीसी के लिए?
बहुत सारे सवालात रहे होंगे। और यदि आज आप समझते हैं, आप गवर्नमेंट ऑफ द डे हैं, आप समझते हैं कि आज समय आ गया है, इस पर विचार होना चाहिए। पहले तो ये था 2-1 साल पहले जगते आप, चलिए आप अभी जगह हैं तो आप आम सहमति बनाइए। काहे के लिए उत्तराखंड की विधानसभा को कल सॉरी कहना पड़े? जब सेंट्रल कानून आएगा तो पता चला हमारा कानून तो कहीं रहा ही नहीं, किसी में नहीं रहा। तो हमको तो खामखा जो है उत्तराखंड को तो बेगानी शादी में अब्दुल्ला दीवाना बनाया जा रहा है। फिर ये तो केंद्र सरकार को हिंदू मुसलमान अब उनको लग रहा है और कोई नहीं इशू है जिससे जो सवाल है उनका जवाब दिया जा सकता है, तो उसको लाने के लिए ये बात कही जा रही है। ऐसा लग रहा है आप कैसे एक धर्म विशेष को टारगेट बना करके हिंदुस्तान जैसे देश के अंदर जो है, इतने बड़े दुनिया के सबसे बड़े लोकतंत्र में आप कैसे एक लेजिस्लेशन बना सकते हैं?
नहीं, पर क्या ये
अच्छे दिल से, खुले दिल से बनाइए, बातचीत करिए। हम विरोध थोड़ी कर, हम क्या आपका हाथ पकड़ लेंगे बातचीत करने में?
तो आप ये कह रहे हैं कि आप विरोध नहीं कर?
तो इनके दोस्त रहे हैं, देखिए उन्हीं को शंकाएं, और ये शंकाएं आज ही नहीं की उन्होंने, जब गवर्नमेंट में थे तब भी व्यक्ति की। उन्होंने जब इनके पार्ट थे उस समय भी कहा नहीं इस मामले में भैया कुछ नहीं, इस मामले में हमारे रिजर्वेशन है। क्योंकि सिखों की कई अपनी विशेषताएं हैं, सिख धर्म को कई तरीके के विशेषताएं हैं जिनका वो संरक्षण करना चाहेंगे। तो एक कानून के तहत अब सबको कृपाण रखने की इजाजत थोड़ी
ना, लेकिन उसका तो इससे कोई डायरेक्ट कनेक्शन नहीं है ना हरीश जी। देखिए, हम तो उन 5 विषयों के बारे में बात कर रहे हैं ना। वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट मैरिज, वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट इनहेरिटेंस, वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट डेथ, वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट अडॉप्शन एंड वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट डिवोर्स। तो दीज आर द 5 एस्पेक्ट्स ऑफ सिविल कॉन्ट्रैक्ट्स। उसके लिए सबके लिए समान आचार संहिता नहीं होनी चाहिए, सबके लिए तो समान अधिकार होने चाहिए ना उसमें। तो ये तो सिविल कॉन्ट्रैक्ट्स हैं।
ये इसमें दायरे कैसे? जब आप जब प्रधानमंत्री कह रहे हैं इस देश के अंदर एक ही कानून होगा, तो एक ही कानून होगा तो उसके जो अभी तक कई तरीके के मल्टीपल कानून हैं, इसको किस तरीके का राइट प्राप्त होगा? ये संवैधानिक ये मूल अधिकार का राइट प्राप्त होगा या किस तरीके का राइट प्राप्त होगा?
पर सिविल कॉन्ट्रैक्ट्स पर में तो एक ही लॉ आएगा ना। फिर जो बाकी पहले के थे वो तो बाय डिफॉल्ट डिफंक्ट हो जाएंगे, ओवरराइड हो जाएंगे।
जी, मैं आप ही की बात को ले लेता हूँ। यदि ओवरराइड करेगा तो जो हमने आरक्षण का अधिकार दिया है, कानून बनाया है, सब वो किया है, उस पर कल कुछ लोग सवाल उठाने लग जाएंगे, कई बातें आएंगी।
वो तो
कुछ भी संभव हो
सब, वो तो
किसी चीज में
संभव के लिए तो कुछ भी संभव, उसका इससे कोई डायरेक्ट रिलेशन नहीं है ना।
आप जब ओवरराइडिंग कोई कानून बनाने जा रहे हैं तो उसके पहले के बनाए कानूनों पर आपका क्या असर पड़ेगा, इन सब बातों पर विचार करना पड़ेगा। आप केवल उसको जब एक देश एक कानून की बात करते हैं, हाँ आप ये कहते नहीं तो इस दिशा में एक कदम है हमारा, एक यूनिफॉर्म सिविल कोड बनाने की दिशा में, तो एक दो चीजों को ले रहे हैं, तो आप वो करिए, स्पष्ट बताइए कि नहीं ये तो
नहीं, पर सिविल कोड
है टुकड़े वाला है। अब एक उत्तराखंड वाला, गुजरात वाला एक नया प्रयोग हो रहा है, जहाँ चुनाव आए वहाँ यूनिफॉर्म सिविल कोड के नाम पर बाकी समय कुछ काम मत करो, जनता के सवाल हल मत करो, अंत में यूनिफॉर्म सिविल कोड की छाता लेकर के चुनाव में निकल पड़ो। अब ये सब चीजें नहीं चल पाए।
तो आपको लगता है कि चुनावी जुमला अगर होगा तो नहीं चलेगा, बट अदरवाइज सोच विचार करके आप सही मंशा से लेकर आ रहे हैं तो फिर इसका कोई विरोध नहीं करेगा। एक माहौल बनाइए जहां सब इसके लिए एक्सेप्टेबल हो और माने इसको। हरीश रावत जी, a pleasure speaking with you. Thank you very much for your time. Namaste, sir. Let's try and get not just from the political point of view to the legal point of view. Joining us now is the former Additional Solicitor General of India, Vikas Singh ji. Vikas Singh ji, namaste. Your thoughts on a common civil code for Bharat. Are we ready?
So, as far as the common civil code is concerned, I feel that India definitely is ready for it, but it has to be by the consultative and the, route by which you take everybody on board and convince them, because there are certain very essential features of uniform civil code, which nobody can object to. For instance, marriageable age for children, or for instance, inheritance right of a girl getting equal as the boy. So if you take everybody on board and have a discussion with the so-called intelligentsia in every religious group and take them in dialogue, I'm sure they will all agree. And this kind of a law, according to me, should be passed again by sensitizing the political parties that we are not trying to make Hindu religion or a Hindu Rashtra, but we are only trying to bring in those features of a uniform civil code which are universally, can be said to be universally accepted, and can be said to be in some way or the other some fundamental rights of every citizen. So that is the only way to go forward, and according to me, we are definitely ready for it, but it should be fine-tuned to ensure that we don't trample onto any essential religious functions of any religion in doing so.
No, but that's for the centre. But the state of Uttarakhand, only today we had the expert committee that's been appointed by the Uttarakhand government, led by Justice Ranjana Desai, that they are ready with a draft of the Uniform Civil Code that could be implemented in Uttarakhand. Now, we've had some access to some salient points, and do you think it could be part of the contours of a UCC, that the marriage age of girls is raised to 21? All marriages have to be registered if you want to any of the government benefits to accrue to you. Teen talaq, nikah halala, biddat, all of this is now gone. It's gone. Equal rights as far as inheritance is concerned, male or female, and equal say in divorce, husband, wife, however it is. And if there is a feud over custody, then the grandparents get the choice and get the preference. What are your thoughts, sir?
So, Anand, if you look at the underlying feature of all these recommendations, these are basically to protect the the female gender from any form of exploitation, and to give rights to the female gender in any matrimonial relationship or even in a live-in relationship. So I don't see any one of them, transgressing, or if, for instance, this triple talaq or polygamy. All this will be acceptable, because if you talk to any sensible Muslim, he also is not agreeable that there should be polygamy in society. Although they assert that it is their right and we should not be asked to not do it, we ourselves may not do it, but they don't want it to be curbed. So polygamy probably may not be something which can be forced upon unless they all agree. But the rest of it, I don't see anything objectionable where anybody can say that anybody's any particular right is or the religious freedom has been taken away by these laws. So I think that's how the fine-tuning has to take place, but it has to be done slowly with dialogue, with an open mind, and there should not be any element that just because I have a majority in parliament, I'll go ahead with the law. That should never be the attitude, I would say. I mean, you may have the majority, you may do it, but the attitude should be that no, we'll do it only if we have a proper debate and we have the right people, all agreeing that this should happen for the particular community.
Do you believe if UCC is implemented in Uttarakhand, it could become a template for the rest of the nation to follow? And could the government aim for the monsoon session of Parliament to introduce the bill?
I don't know whether it has been done with the consultative process in Uttarakhand or not. If it's just done by a law because they have the majority, I don't think that will be correct. And I think it will be better if the parliamentary law, if at all it comes, is not rushed in this monsoon session, but it takes its own time, and they start this debate process and call all these people and have their views, penned down, and then ask public opinion on that and go a little slow on this. That will be. I don't want a reaction to start in the country and communal flare-up to start. That will not be desirable under any circumstances. You'll be achieving less and losing more if there is a hostility to this exercise.
No, but why should there be a hostility? And it is a consultative process, Vikasji, because in Uttarakhand itself there are more than 2 lakh responses, oral and written. And overall, pan-India, there are nearly 10 lakh responses that have already come in nationally. So why do you think there should be a communal flare-up to a common cause?
So Anand, these kind of communal flare-ups actually happen because there are vested interests who actually incite a communal flare-up. And now when do the vested interests get an opportunity to, rage these kind of issues and rage public opinion against a particular move? It only happens when there is less of information floating around. So the more you are able to let people participate and more you have debate and more, like even TV shows taking up these issues, and the more you have a uniform, informed public, the more informed public we have, the more chance of there being no communal flare-up. So according to me, although it's a very good move, but what will happen is if it is rushed through, like you've seen what happened to the farm laws. I mean, most of it was definitely beneficial to the farmer, but the way it was rushed through, it felt as if there is some, design, some agenda of the government, hidden agenda which nobody knows about. And that is why, this huge protest, etc. happened. So I think if you don't want that to happen, you have to go a little slow and have more of debate, have more of opinion. The so-called intelligentsia in every religious denomination, let them give their views, and then, bring in this law. So I think that according to me will be politically the right way. Legally, it's you can do it even now. I mean, you can do it in this monsoon session. But politically, I think it will be better to do it the slow process than rush it through.
All right. Thank you, Vikasji. Thank you very much for your thoughts. Let's hope that the process is consultative and people understand the importance of having equal rights across the board. And it's going to impact positively everybody. Does it have to be well thought through? Yes. When we come back, we turn the spotlight to Uttar Pradesh, where Vikas has raised all the kabza, the flats and the land and the area which was gheraud or taken over forcibly by Atiq Ahmed has been now given out to people, beneficiaries. But the opposition is not happy. They're asking who killed Atiq in the first place.
Governor should in fact leave it to the government to take decisions, and every time there is any issue, and we've seen how both the state government and the governor continue to remain at loggerheads. We've seen posters saying "Go back, governor," also across the city. So mixed reaction so far as Sendil Balaji is concerned, and as well as the governor's issue is concerned.
Right. Purnima, also, when we talk about the governor having dismissed Senthil Balaji while overriding the Chief Minister's decision of keeping him back, holding him back in the cabinet. Do you think the opposition here is trying to maybe, you know, make its way in Tamil Nadu by playing politics of this sort?
Well, absolutely. This is not the first time that we've seen the governor, in fact, say that Senthil Balaji should not continue as a minister. We've seen ever since Senthil Balaji, was raided by the IT. We've seen the opposition parties meet governor and say that till the time the ED completes its investigation, Senthil Balaji should be dropped as a council of minister. This is something that the BJP and the AIADMK had conveyed to the governor, that Senthil Balaji should not be the minister. And after he was raided as well, when the state government had transferred his portfolios to other ministers, even then we saw the governor in fact say that he personally does not accept and agree to the recommendations of the state government. However, even then, the only thing that we saw from the state government was that the governor does not have the right to do so. So this has, in fact, been an issue that has been active, where the war of words had only escalated between the ruling government as well as the governor.
Right.
So opposition parties time and again saying that the governor is forced to do so because the state government has not taken suo moto cognizance of the issue and hasn't dropped Senthil Balaji. So opposition will continue to demand the resignation of Senthil Balaji as a minister, even as the governor is still buying time to make a final decision in this regard.
Right, Purnima, one more thing. If you look at our screens right now, the viewers can also see there are a line of posters that have come in against the Tamil Nadu governor regarding this dismissal of Senthil Balaji. Could you just throw some more light on what these posters are saying? We can see it on full screen right now. What exactly is the pulse on the ground?
Well, I was just talking about this some time ago. Whenever there is an issue where the state government and the governor continue to remain at loggerheads, we've seen how war of words have escalated. Apart from that, while looking at the situation, we've also seen posters saying "Go back, Ravi" come up every time there's been an issue between the ruling government and the governor. In fact, this is yet another instance where some of the posters have been seen in the city where they've asked the governor to go back. So that is something that happens whenever the issue between the state government and the governor escalates.
There's another showdown between the Tamil Nadu governor and the government. After Governor R.N. Ravi dismissed Senthil Balaji from the state cabinet without consulting the Chief Minister M.K. Stalin, top Tamil Nadu Raj Bhavan sources have informed CNN News18 that Balaji will continue in council till further orders. Now, Ravi's previous order stands suspended and he will now take opinion from Attorney General. The governor had accused him of abusing his position, influencing the probe and obstructing the course of justice. The Chief Minister had vowed legal action, calling the governor's orders illegal. Remember, Balaji is accused in a money laundering case in the multi-crore cash for job scam when he served as transport minister under the previous AIADMK government. Now, the breaking news that we have on this particular input that we have, and this is from the Raj Bhavan sources who have told CNN News18 that Tamil Nadu Governor R.N. Ravi has decided to take legal opinion from an Attorney General on the issue of Senthil Balaji. Now, Raj Bhavan's previous order stands suspended till the legal opinion is sought. So that is the major focus right now, as in the particular order that had come in previously is suspended. Senthil Balaji is going to continue in council till AG opinion and further orders come in. Now, sources have also told CNN News18 that the Tamil Nadu governor has now informed Chief Minister Stalin about the decision to keep dismissal order of Minister Balaji in abeyance. Now remember, according to a press release from Raj Bhavan, Balaji is facing some serious criminal proceedings, as we already mentioned, and this is in a number of cases of corruption, including taking cash, the jobs and money laundering. So this is the particular input that we have from the story in the South, and we have CNN News 18's Arunima joining us on the broadcast to give us more details on this. Arunima, a very good morning to you. Well, quite a lot of debate has gone around the dismissal of Senthil Balaji, and well, now legal advice is being sought. How are we looking at these developments in Tamil Nadu?
Dismissal, which was eventually withdrawn, is the status at this moment. Last night, close to midnight,
Back on the right stand with the update that Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityantha sending out a stern message to the Mafia Raj, saying that what you loot will be razed to the ground and it will turn to benefit the poor. And that's exactly what was witnessed in Prayagraj. Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityantha handing over the keys to 76 beneficiaries under the Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana scheme committed to provide homes to the poor. And the land used to build these houses once belonged to the late gangster turned politician Atiq Ahmed. This construction of houses began in 2021 itself after the state government freed the land from the possession of Atiq Ahmed in the Lukerganj area of Prayagraj. Now, if you remember, Atiq Ahmed was shot dead along with his brother while in custody in April this year, even as the state's crackdown on Mafia Raj was gathering pace. Anila Singh of the BJP is with us. Abbas Haider of the Samajwadi Party is with us. Namaste and Jai Hind to the lady and the gentleman. Abbas Haider, how would you react to what has happened? You're on mute, Abbas. I'm unable to hear you. Can you unmute yourself, please?
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can. Go ahead, please.
No, I'm saying I'm happy for the 75 people who have finally got keys to their home. But as far as I remember, Bharatiya Janata Party has committed to give house to all the homeless people in this country by the end of 2022. There are around 17 lakh homeless people in this country. And they, in Uttar Pradesh, there are like 3,29,000 homeless people, which is the highest in any state of the country. So why not we have given houses to all these homeless people? Then you talk about giving homes to these people. I'm happy with that. But you know what is happening actually? If you talk about Mirzapur, so there is BJP president of Mirzapur. His name is Brij Bhushan Singh. You know what he has done? He has grabbed government land illegally. And why? And the state government and a complaint has been filed to the chief minister. But what happened to that? What happened to a BJP leader in Etah who was chased off when he was grabbing land over there? BJP leader has grabbed land across Uttar Pradesh and nothing is being done on their land. A BJP member of parliament was beating up cop in Uttar Pradesh, and you know what was done to him? Nothing was done to him. He is out of bar and the cops were transferred. This is happening in Uttar Pradesh. This is the Gunda Raj which is happening in Uttar Pradesh today. MLC of Samajwadi Party, Miss Neelavati Kushwaha, she, along with her two daughters, were beaten up badly in Ayodhya. I can show you the pictures. This is what Gunda Raj is happening in Uttar Pradesh. Today, nobody is feeling safe in UP. This is what has been happening here.
So your message is that it's not actually delivery, it's just transfer of the Gunda Raj. Tumhari Gundagardi band, hamari Gundagardi shuru. Anila Singh, how do you want to respond to that?
No, I'm saying that...
everyone.
Namaste. Yes.
Okay, my Ram to everyone, and whatever Samajwadi Party says, it hardly matters because today is the day to rejoice. Today is the moment to be very, very happy for all those people who have got keys of their flats. And it is then the flats have been built on the land which was encroached by a mafia, Atiq Ahmed, which was being patronized by Samajwadi Party. The Kabja building was demolished and new flats were made. And now those who really deserve, the poor people, they have got the keys of those all flats. But it is so sad to see Samajwadi Party is so unhappy that poor are getting there to live. And the best part is no discrimination at all. No appeasement politics at all. So flats have been given to the people who come from the minorities.
She gave you one minute. Abbas Haider, I have one request. She gave you your 2 minutes. You give her 2 minutes and then respond, please.
Only governance.
So you are saying only governance, Anila ji, but the point is
no nonsense, no nuisance, only governance.
So if that is the case, what the Samajwadi Party is saying is, Anila ji, what the Samajwadi Party's allegation is that the BJP leaders, BJP netas themselves are resorting to the same land grab on Gundagardi that the BJP blamed Atiq Ahmed of, or what Atiq Ahmed has been charged of. So what is different by giving? Are you scoring political points?
Some sort of delusion. Bharatiya Janata Party workers are not mafias, gunda. All right, we do not give them any sort of shelter. We do not advocate for any dangais or the terrorists or the criminals. We do not give them tickets, those who are heinous criminals, who are known for their mafia girdi. Of course not, we do not. BSP and Samajwadi Party, they have got this character because they are into appeasement politics and they want to patronize these people, shelter these people, advocate for these people.
Are you trying to say, one minute. Are you trying to say that gundas also come with a particular caste, community, color and tabka with them? That gundas do not exist, mafia don't exist across caste and community lines, Anila ji?
No, they do exist.
So how is... So
they do exist. I am not denying that. That is why I am saying no. That is why I am saying no mafia girdi under Yogi Adityantha ji's regime.
So who was the Dubey who was shot down in an encounter? Who's Sunil Rathi? Who are these people?
This is what I am. No. I did say this thing that when we talk about mafia, gunda, apradhi, anything, I mean, it is not only caste or religion line, but the thing is why these people were patronized, given shelter by these political parties.
The allegation, Abbas Haider, come in. Abbas Haider, if you are, Anila ji, making an allegation on the Samajwadi Party that they patronize goons, the Samajwadi Party is saying that you are shooting down those goons who you didn't patronize, but you are sheltering those who you are patronizing. That's the counter charge at you. Abbas, yeah.
Anand ji, what question you asked Anila ji, last question, this is what precisely Bharatiya Janata Party believes in. They see criminals according to a particular lens. They differentiate between them. They don't act according to the rule of law. They act according to their will and their political benefit. That is what they do. If you talk about Uttar Pradesh, I mean, girls get raped, and when they try to get a FIR lodged against the rapist, they have to commit suicide. Only after that their complaint gets lodged. This is what has happened in Jalon. What has happened in Barabanki? A girl in Jalon, girl's father committed suicide. In Barabanki, a girl committed suicide who was a rape victim. Her complaint was not lodged. This is what is happening in Uttar Pradesh. You're talking about lawlessness. You should talk about lawlessness in Uttar Pradesh. While you are making false claim, a legislator was getting beaten up. A lady legislator was getting beaten up in Ayodhya mercilessly. This is what's happening in Uttar Pradesh, and you don't have shame to accept your fault. Criminals are
let her respond. Let her respond. Abbas Haider, let her respond.
In hospitals, everywhere in the state.
Let her respond.
This is what the state
as Anila Singh is about to respond, I am very happy that the Samajwadi Party feels so strongly about rapists. Given what has been said by the former patron-in-chief of the Samajwadi Party not so some time back, what the opinion of the party at that time was about rapists and what it is today, I welcome the change. But Anila Singh, respond, please.
No,
Anila Singh, respond, please.
Anila Singh, respond, please. How Atiq Ahmed used to grab the land from the madrasas. How the young girls were raped by his goons. Everybody knows about that. So Abbas,
don't you believe in the court of law? Why don't you believe in the rule of law? Why don't you believe in the constitution?
Now you listen to me. Now you listen to me, Mr. Haider. Now you listen to me.
If certain thing is done through the court of law, you try to get political benefit out of it.
What? I have got statistics in front of me. What Yogi Adityantha's government has done in all these years since he came into power.
Abbas Haider, please don't heckle her. You got a free run. Let her speak.
That's how your Samajwadi Party government, the government was able to control crime. NCRB statistics shows, if you do the comparative analysis, that the crime graph is going towards south in Uttar Pradesh. This is not Anila Singh, BJP
You claim
spokesperson
that
saying.
there is no
These
crime
are
in Uttar
statistics
Pradesh.
given
All the
by the
criminals are either
NCR.
behind bar
Sir,
or
you
out
should
of Uttar
listen.
Pradesh.
You
But
should
what
have
has
some
happened?
decency.
According to
I
NCR,
think
more than
allowed
2700
Gundawadi
rapes,
Party
more
trained
than
spokesperson
3700
to be
murders,
doing
more
such
than
a channel.
10,000
You are
kidnappings.
not
This is what is
listening.
happening
And
in
you're
Uttar
not
Pradesh.
listening because
So
you do not
stop
have
making
facts with
false
you.
claim
You
and
do not have
act.
statistics
Act
with you.
because
See,
people
Abbas Haider, I have repeatedly said, Abbas Haider, I have repeatedly said,
You're simply shouting and shrilling and you're not rejoicing the moment.
both of you will
Today,
get your chance
all
to
those poor
speak.
people who have been allotted
Both of you will get your
residences by
chance to
Yogi
speak.
Adityantha.
Both of you will get your chance to speak. Please don't speak over each other.
You speaking over me, and I was not speaking over it.
I'm just requesting both of you, and this is the last time. The next time onwards, I'm going to request the team, whoever is heckling, to reduce their volume. Let's hear everybody out. Yes, Anila Singh, you are saying the NCRB data is showing that the crime rate is going southward in Uttar Pradesh. Crime rate is dropping. The allegation is that you are making a show of a lot of things to score political points, while the crackdown on Mafia Raj is not full and wholehearted. That's the allegation. Is that true or false?
Absolutely false. That is why, Anand, I was telling Mr. Haider, I have got statistics, not numbers. I've got statistics in front of me since 2017 till date that how Yogi Adityantha's government has controlled crime in this state. Do you have that? Do you have that? Can you tell me that how Akhilesh Yadavji controlled crime graph during his tenure? Do you have facts and figures in front of you? I have got facts and figures in front of me because I am 100% sure you cannot project any figures because we very well know a political party
But,
who patronizes.
Let's take that point. There is one more question. The opposition and even I have this question. Who killed Atiq Ahmed?
Is this question for me?
Yes, Anila ji. Who killed Atiq Ahmed? Who masterminded that killing? When will we know?
Who masterminded? See, those who killed Atiq and his brother, they are behind the bars. And who is the mastermind? Whether there was a mastermind or not, I think I am not the person to reveal that. The right agency is going to tell.
There is a list of 67 gangs that have been listed, that has been put out by the Uttar Pradesh government itself. Out of those, how many gangs have been accounted for and how long before they are all accounted for? That's another question. Will Uttar Pradesh be clean of gangs? That's the big question, even as benefits are given. Abbas Haider and Anila Singh, thank you very much for joining us this evening. We're going to wind up the debate, and on that note, also winding up this edition of The Right Stand. Brass tacks follows. Stay with us.
Good evening, hello and welcome. You're watching Brass Tacks. I'm Anusha Soni. For the last 1 week, the subject of Uniform Civil Code has dominated the headlines for the obvious politics that has spanned out around this issue. Fear-mongering, vote bank politics and a complete absence of any intellectual or critical engagement from the political class around UCC has only created a sort of paranoia. Uniform Civil Code is indeed a matter of minority rights. The rights of minority to growth, development and constitutional change and evolution. The promise of the Indian Constitution, its forefathers and mothers, has been that independent India will not bow down to the orthodoxy. Uniform Civil Code is a matter of equality, irrespective of gender, caste or creed. It's a matter of principle that Constitution shall treat all religions alike. It's also a matter, above all, of women's rights. There's nothing personal about personal laws. Personal laws or personal has always been political. After the idea of UCC was mooted by the Prime Minister in Bhopal, now the state of Uttarakhand is mulling to get a civil code at the state level. Amidst this heated debate, some political parties have openly supported the idea of a uniform civil code, highlighting that it's the mandate of the Constitution. There are others who are fence-sitters, including the Congress party. While each political party has the right to cater to its vote bank, there cannot be an absolute support to the politics of vote bank in this country. Reforms are often held hostage by influential groups, but it's the job of the elected representatives to steer the nation in the right direction. Is the vote bank and the politics of vote bank withholding a much-needed reform of our personal laws? Our focus on brass tacks tonight.
drafting of the proposed Uniform Civil Code of Uttarakhand is now complete. The report of the expert committee, along with the draft code, would soon be printed and submitted to the government of Uttarakhand.
2 लाख से भी ज़्यादा लोगों से बात की है और अनेकों स्टेक होल्डरों से भी उसने बात की है। विभिन्न संगठनों के लोग, धार्मिक संगठनों के लोग, सबसे बात की है और बात करने के बाद उनका ड्राफ्ट तैयार हो रहा है।
It's a dog whistle. You know, it is an attempt to the otherness of the other. इसका कोई औचित्य नहीं है। ये ध्रुवीकरण का एक और मसौदा है।
All right, let's take this question to our guests as well who are joining us on the broadcast. How serious, how sincere is the political intent? Joining us on the broadcast is Shehzad Poonawala of the BJP. We also have Mr. Anurag Bhadoria from the Samajwadi Party, Siddharth Sharma from the Aam Aadmi Party, Mr. Ratan Sharda, who's a researcher and author. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining us on the broadcast. Shehzad, I'll give the floor to you. My request to all the speakers, please speak at your turn. Please don't speak over each other and avoid personal jibes. This is a very serious issue that we all discuss here tonight. Shehzad, the question to you, is it a dog whistle, as Congress leaders said, that there is no serious legislative work that has been done on this? Consultations like this should have not been sought by the government. It's only a political gimmick. Respond to that, George.
You know, I'm frankly very disappointed to hear that kind of comment coming from Manish Tiwari, who should know that this article was put in the Constitution by the founding fathers of the Constitution, many of whom were congressmen. Were they dog whistling? When it was implemented in Goa and the Congress party was in power, were they dog whistling? Was it dog whistling when the Supreme Court and the Chief Justice's father, Y.V. Chandrachud, batted for it and said that it should not be a dead letter of law, or that should not remain a mere hope, it should be put in practice? Or the Supreme Court said in another case that it should be brought out from the cold storage. Was the Supreme Court dog whistling? And today, what are we saying? Forget what the draft will be, forget what all of this is in the future. Today, are you on principle supporting Article 44? Are you against the principle? But unfortunately, those who have in their history Shah Banu to Shaira Banu opposing it for the sake of vote bank politics, today are again playing the silly politics of vote bank where they are sacrificing. And this is about women's rights and women's rights alone. For instance, there is an issue of child marriage. Nobody else is allowed to get away with child marriage. If you marry a child below the age of 18, you will be prosecuted. Which is the set of people that get protection for doing child marriage under personal law? I want to ask everyone on the panel, are they for child marriage, against child marriage? Or should sons and daughters have the same rights from their parents' wealth? Ask the question. If the answer is yes, then shouldn't it be mandated by law, or should one set of people be allowed to discriminate between a girl and a boy? And now I see the Aam Aadmi Party, who on principle says they are with the UCC. Mr. Amanatullah Khan, there's no draft yet, but Mr. Amanatullah Khan, December 2022 tweet, यूनिफॉर्म सिविल कोड लाकर भाजपा देश में अल्पसंख्यकों को प्राप्त अधिकारों को छीनना चाहती है। ये कौन सा ड्राफ्ट देखकर ये ज्ञान दे रहे हैं? And if AAP is for UCC, they should take action on Mr. Amanatullah Khan.
All right. The Aam Aadmi Party is also joining us on the broadcast. Siddharth Sharma is with us on the show. I want to cut across to Mr. Anurag Bhadoria of the Samajwadi Party. Mr. Bhadoria, in principle, does your party support the idea of a uniform civil code? Because I believe, and I put this thought across on the table and to all the panelists here on the broadcast, that it's a matter of gender equality, irrespective of the religion that you follow. Constitution should guard those rights.
मेरा सीधा सा सवाल है भारतीय जनता पार्टी से, देश संविधान से चलेगा, देश लोकतांत्रिक तरीके से चलेगा कि देश मनमानी से चलेगा? भाई संविधान है ना, आपने क्या ड्राफ्ट बनाया है? क्या आपने सिख समुदाय से बात कर ली? क्या आपने ईसाई समुदाय से बात कर ली, जैन समुदाय से बात कर ली, बौद्ध समुदाय से बात कर ली, हिंदू समाज से बात कर ली, या आपने इस्लाम को मानने वाले मुस्लिम समाज से बात कर ली, और जो हमारे डिफरेंट हिंदू समाज के लोग उनसे बात कर ली? क्या? क्योंकि ये अनेकता में एकता वाला देश है ना, आपने किसी से बात की क्या? उनकी आपने एक्सपर्ट कमेटी बना के उनकी राय ले ली? एक बात। दूसरी बात, क्या अगर यूसीसी लेके आएंगे तो क्या रिजर्वेशन खत्म कर देंगे आप? रिजर्वेशन के बारे में आपकी क्या राय
अनुराग जी,
है? दूसरा,
एक सवाल पूछ सकती हूँ आपको आपका तर्क देने से रोक नहीं रही हूँ, लेकिन मेरा एक सवाल है, बस एक सवाल है, अगर आप अपना तर्क देते समय ये भी समझा सकें कि यूनिफॉर्म सिविल कोड और रिजर्वेशन का आपस में क्या लेना देना है, क्योंकि जहां तक मैंने कानून पढ़ा है या संविधान की डिबेट्स पढ़े हैं, इनका आपस में कोई डायरेक्ट लेना देना नहीं। जी बोलिए, नहीं आप अपनी बात पूरी करिए, आपको कोई
है लेना देना, आप मुझे बोलने दीजिए, आप मुझे बोलने दीजिए, इसलिए मैं आपसे कह रहा, अगर जिससे गोवा में जो यूसीसी है उसमें अगर एक लेडी को बेटा 30 साल तक नहीं होता है तो उस हिंदू को दूसरी शादी करने के लिए अलाउ किया गया है। क्या उसके ऊपर में भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सरकार वहां पे है? क्या उसके ऊपर में कोई इन्होंने कोई ड्राफ्ट बनाया कि उसको हटाएंगे कि नहीं? ये अभी उत्तराखंड का जो ड्राफ्ट देखने को मिल रहा है, जिस तरह से खबर आई है कि भाई अगर दो हस्बैंड वाइफ में तलाक हो जाता है तो उसका जो बच्चा है वो ग्रैंडफादर के पास चला जाएगा, जबकि कानून वैसे माँ के पास जाना चाहिए। एक 371 आर्टिकल के बारे में आपने क्या सोचा है? जैसे नागपुर, नागालैंड है, मणिपुर है, या नॉर्थ ईस्ट की बहुत सारे स्टेट हैं जिनको स्पेशल दर्जा प्राप्त है, या कुछ अपने इधर भी है, हिमाचल भी है, कर्नाटका भी है, गुजरात भी है, महाराष्ट्र भी है, इनको भी कुछ स्पेशल दर्जा प्राप्त है। तो क्या उसमें जो जमीन खरीदने का जो राइट है, क्या सबको मिल जाएगा फिर एग्रीकल्चर जमीन खरीदने का? तो उसके बारे में आपने क्या किया है? आपने कोई एक ड्राफ्ट तैयार नहीं किया, पब्लिक के सामने एक ड्राफ्ट लेके आइए ना, आप लेके आइए ड्राफ्ट, अपोजिशन लीडर्स को बुलाइए, पार्लियामेंट के अंदर लेके आइए, तब तो उस पर कोई बात हो। आपने एक बॉल उछाल दी है, बोला ये यूसीसी की बॉल है, अब उसको सब लोग देख रहे हैं क्या है, आप उसमें चर्चा कर रहे हैं। देखिए इसमें माइनॉरिटी की बात नहीं है,
मैंने आपको उतना ही समय दिया जितना मैंने बीजेपी को दिया। अब मैं एक क्विक, आई वांट टू टेक अ क्विक रिस्पांस फ्रॉम द बीजेपी एंड देन आई वांट टू गो टू मिस्टर रतन शारदा एंड द आम आदमी पार्टी। शहजाद, a quick response.
The kind of content that is being spread, reservation will get over because of UCC. So Ambedkar ji and Ram Manohar Lohia ji, who supported UCC, were against reservation. And then next line he contradicts himself. He says गोवा में लागू है, गोवा में reservation खत्म हो गया। अनुषा जी आप तो लॉ कवर करती है जुडिशरी, एंड गोवा वाला उन्होंने कहा कि उसमें एक प्रावधान है where the man can marry another woman. Under Muslim law there is a provision where if the man cannot get a child with the woman, he can divorce her. We need standardization of all these divorce laws. Why just one? We'll standardize all of them. But having said that, let me make two very quick points. First, ड्राफ्ट आया नहीं है, अभी उन्होंने कहा। जब ड्राफ्ट आया नहीं तो ये हिंदू विरोधी, मुस्लिम विरोधी, संथल विरोधी, एक्स विरोधी, वाई विरोधी कैसे तय कर लिया? और इनके नेता है एसटी हसन, ये कह रहे सैद्धांतिक रूप से साथ में है। एसटी हसन don't want UCC, if it comes we will not be able to marry more than once. मेरा सवाल बुनियादी है, ask everyone on the panel only one question. Should a girl get married at 18 or should she be allowed to get married at 14, 12, 8, 7, 6 to some 50 years old? That's the simple question.
Shahzad, I do believe that the law is very clear. The Supreme Court gave a judgment, you'd remember, and I'm sure our panelists remember, that intercourse with a wife below the age of 18 is called rape. The laws have not been reconciled, neither the personal law, neither various other spheres of law. And that is why I believe the position of the law is very clear that all these personal laws need to go. Mr. Siddharth Sharma.
But just one line.
Yeah.
Under the certain set of personal laws, even if this rape is taking place, it is being legitimized.
It is because they're being given a go by. Because they're being given a go by. Siddharth Sharma from the Aam Aadmi Party, I want to come to you. Siddharth ji, the allegation that the BJP has put on you is that you have adopted a position and said, look, in principle, we agree with the UCC, but various leaders from your party have given out statements that oppose the idea of a uniform civil code. So is this a double speak by the Aam Aadmi Party?
Yeah, let me answer it in a very clear-cut manner. UCC is desirable as per the Constitution of India, Article 44. And any citizen of India, including me, or representing any other political party, or you as an anchor, or the 140 crore people, are governed by the Constitution of India. And nobody can say, nobody has any locus standi today to say that they oppose UCC because it is a constitutional mandate. Point number one. Now, to answer your specific question, it so happened that because this is a heated debate going on, let me just give me 10 seconds to bring it down a notch. Today, this afternoon, somebody asked me whether I'd like to go to Shimla for a vacation. Now, it's such a nice proposition that I say yes. It's totally another matter that the person who is offering me a vacation in Shimla, what is the mode of transport that he is going to take me through? Whether he has the wherewithal to take me through to a vacation or not. The article, just like a destination, Shimla is a destination, UCC is a destination, but what is the way, what is the roadmap to arrive at the destination? Is it consultation or is it imposition? Everyone today knows that in India...
But can I ask you a question, Siddharthji? Was the Hindu reform or the reform of the Hindu personal law imposed on the Hindu community, or were all sections of the Hindu society in favor when the Hindu personal law was amended? I want an answer to that, sir.
Yeah, whatever has happened, Aam Aadmi Party was formed in 2012. We are not answerable to what happened in India before 2012.
Really?
We know. Okay, don't be very condescending, Shahzad. I know.
I'm not. I'm just wondering, you don't have a view on independence, then you don't have a view on 1980 Shah Banu.
No personal comments. I'm not going to allow personal attacks on this debate. I am not going to allow personal attacks on this debate. Let's stick to the topic. Siddharthji, make your point. Siddharthji, make your point. Make your point. Yes.
No, it's not absolutely not a poison, Shahzad. I was just trying to make a point.
You are giving what you are.
No. Siddharth Sharma, please. Siddharth Sharma, please. Then I'll go to Mr. Ratan Sharda. Yes.
Yeah, I'll tell you. I'll tell you. When we found the Indian Constitution, it is very clear that when you want to bring a uniform civil code, there are certain provisions of Constitution of India which gives special privileges to certain people under Article 25, under Article 334, under Article 371. My question to the BJP is very simple. Just like to bring in uniformity in Kashmir, they abrogated Article 370. Are they ready to abrogate Article 371?